Hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Grand Haven County. This is going to be episode 3 and you may have seen by the title, but the new Netherlands region pack just dropped for City Skylines 2 and I am so excited to test it out and see what we can build with it. So today we're going to be building a new city in Grand Haven County. As I kind of explained in the first episode of this series, there is going to be multiple small towns surrounding this one more like centralized town, but I wanted to create like a network of cities and connect them all through rail infrastructure and really prioritize public transportation and railways and kind of, forcing people to use public transportation and not have to rely on their cars as much. So today we're going to be starting a new city in Grand Haven County inspired by the Netherlands region pack. I'm super excited, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so on our map you can see that I have bought out these 4 new tiles. Our original city exists over here. I'm gonna leave that alone for this episode and I'm gonna focus on building up this new city right here along the northern coast of Grand Haven County. So the first thing that I really want to do is I want to start with the road layout and really get something that is inspired by the Netherlands and kind of has that European feel to it. I think it'll be really fun. So I'm just going to kind of experiment for a little bit and then I'll get right back to you and see what we come up with. Okay, now that we have finally finished the beginning road layout, I thought I would kind of go over what my thoughts are. So I definitely wanted to have this main arterial coming through like the main part of this downtown area, and I wanted to make sure it also hooked up to more of a coastal front commercial road as well that cuts through here and will continue going down the coast, and then we'll have another one over here kind of serving this general area once we expand it. But for now, I knew that I wanted to have a little bit smaller of like a grid with some more abstract angles and some smaller alley roads to kind of get that really tight density feel that you get in the Netherlands. And I really wanted to also explore with just shaping and sizing and kind of just make it interesting and a fun layout to look at, which I really do like. So I believe that right now this is going to be super good for us. So I'm very excited to get into the next part of today's episode, in which we will be setting up the services and then beginning planting all of the houses down and making it look super, super fun. All right, let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to do is connect up our power grid. Okay, so before I got into it, I went ahead and bought this extra tile because I actually figured out that I wanted to connect up a bit of a country road to these two cities besides it just being the highway, so that there could be an easier way to get to each city while we are still in the process of getting trains and everything good like that. So I figured that I was going to come on here and I would connect up to this highway entry point and then kind of just make my way on over. We don't really need anything super fancy, but it's a way to get from this city back over to this city as well. By the way, let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any name suggestions for the city, please. I can't name them all myself, so if you have any suggestions, comment down below and I may choose it, and then you can be a part of this build as well. So we'll need a name for the city. I also want to name this complex over here as well, so if you have a name for that as well, please drop a comment down below. And then of course the new city over here as well, I would love to hear all of your guys' thoughts on that. And then yeah, I'll choose whatever I think fits the best based off the vibe, and I'll let you guys know within the next episode. So please, if you do have any comments or any suggestions or anything like that, feel free to comment down below. I'm always open to suggestions or ideas or anything like that. But now that we do have our electricity hooked up, we want to get our water hooked up as well. But it seems like it already is because we did the country line road. So that is perfect. We don't really have to worry about that. And it should satisfy our needs just for now. I do eventually want to put in a new water tower. So I'm thinking maybe we can go with this water tower or maybe the actual Netherlands water tower. I think that could be really fun. You know what? Let's actually do that. I want to put this right here on the coast, somewhere out here, wherever I can, without it bumping into the boundary. Maybe we can put it right here. Okay, so we got the water tower in, and I figured that I would just give it its own kind of little private lane. We might put some housing here as well, maybe some parking, but we've got the water tower in, and I think it looks really cool from right here. And I also really like the terrain that we've got going on in the middle of the downtown. I think that's pretty realistic. You know, Europe isn't super flat, so I really like that. So we're just going to keep letting this play out, and we are going to continue on with now zoning in all of the residential and the commercial assets of this new pack. I am super, super excited. Okay, so to start off with all of the high density or medium density housing that we're going to be putting in here, I want to start off with the Netherlands medium density row housing. And I want to start incorporating that into the downtown. I'm thinking that I only want these to really be 3 units long. I don't want there to be a huge backyard area. I think like a lot of the smaller assets will do really great in this kind of smaller town. You know, maybe we can add larger assets in the future, but for now I really want to try and go for some smaller assets and really get some individual looks here in this new city. So I'm just going to be going in and I'm going to be zoning in some medium density housing some row housing and some regular housing, and kind of swapping between that. So we just unlocked our low rent housing as well, so I might even put some of that in there as well, do some really small buildings of it and see what happens. But I think it could be really fun to have some low rent housing, Netherlands style. So yeah, I'm just going to keep on zoning in all of these residential assets, and I will get back to you guys in just a second. Okay, so while I am waiting for the rest of these buildings to be zoned in, I want to go ahead and do a little bit of street tailing, you know, putting down some trees, including some more vegetation, and really getting the city to look alive. So we're going to go ahead and do that really quick as well. I'm really loving how this is starting to turn out. You can see how well these assets just like fit in with one another, and along with like the spruce trees that I've added, like it just looks so awesome. I cannot wait for this city to be fully zoned in and, you know, look really put together. It's gonna be amazing. I am so excited. I just realized that we have officially unlocked our leisure tab, so now we can start putting in some parks in our cities. You know, I've been waiting for this for so long, but it's finally here. So now I'm just gonna go around this new city and start placing in some parks and, you know, creating some recreational spaces to get the citizens to want to move in and increase the land value as well. So let's go do that. Okay, now that we've mostly got the main part of the downtown area kind of zoned in, I want to go ahead and start prioritizing maybe some business spaces or some industry spaces as well, so that we can provide jobs and, you know, of course, start getting our money into the green. It's been an ongoing problem. We also have unlocked our district creation tool, so now is the perfect time to start naming these cities and start addressing them by their name. So yeah, of course, if you guys have any name suggestions, please let me know down below. I would love to hear them. But next, we are going to start creating some more single family housing and, you know, kind of fill in the rest of this space and really get in a lot more people into this city. Okay, now that we've got the main part of our downtown basically zoned in, I want to start adding in some services as well. We of course don't have any fire or police in this new city or in the old city as well, so we might actually go back there and provide that. But for now, I want to use this I'm thinking the French firehouse. I think this looks pretty fantastic. I'm thinking that it can go right here in this elongated parcel right there, and that looks beautiful, and that'll provide some great coverage because it's pretty central as well. And then for the police station, I'm thinking I want to go with the French one as well, and I'm thinking about plopping that across the street right here. And so then we can have the police and the fire right next to each other, so that they're pretty close by. And then I think I'm just going to add in a small alley road to kind of separate this fire station and kind of give it a private drive basically as well, so that they have some extra transit options. And then maybe we'll do some offices in this parcel as well, and then maybe across the street. So I'm going to start zoning in some office buildings. We don't have any of the European ones, like we don't have the French pack unlocked at all. So I think I'm just going to be using the low density offices, and we're just going to have to make do for now. Yeah, there's not much that we can really do about that. So I am just going to zone in a few of these in these corners, and then we are going to make sure that we kind of spruce this place up a little bit and get some paths in here as well. If you saw earlier, I did put in some extra pathing around the low rent housing that we've got going over here. I wanted to kind of, you know, not only just spruce it up a little bit, literally, but add some extra walking paths. So if you ever want to go on a walk, you can go on a walk and kind of just walk around this little complex. I'm going to detail it up a little bit more later, but I'm kind of waiting for the rest of these units to be zoned in. So that is what I'm doing right now over here. You know, we're going to try and make that look a little bit better. I really like the idea of kind of having this really cool low rent housing. And we might put some more taller buildings in here as well. We might kind of swap out some of the residential styles, and then we'll kind of spruce up the edge. And I kind of want to create this big park right here that'll bring people in. That's why I put in this long parking lot. That's not only for the residents, but for people who ever want to come over into this area, you know, park their car, walk around a little bit, go into this park. I will be buying this land tile once I get to it, and we're going to be creating a park that goes along this shore, which I think would be so fun. And then over here, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do yet. I'm still kind of leaving it up to suggestions, possibly. Maybe I will think of something that I want to do later, but I'm just going to keep this part of the coastline a little bit empty for now. We've got this bay basically. It'd be fun to have like a beach here, but it's not too terribly warm. However, we could try and see if we can make something work. But for now, I'm going to continue placing down our services. I want to get in another healthcare, like medical clinic basically. So I'm thinking that we can use the new Netherlands small medical clinic, which will be perfect. I think I want to put it, let's see, where do we want this to go? I think it could serve us well being somewhere towards the middle of the town. So I'm gonna put it right here. And then of course I'm going to be adding, wow, that looks, that, I think what we should do instead, because this is being weird. Okay, in order to make this look a little bit better, I'm just going to move it over to the other side of this parcel, and we will just connect it up here so we don't have these kind of super jagged edges on the terrain. And then I'm going to hook up some more paths and just kind of make it look pretty nice. I'm gonna actually snap to it this time, and we'll just go around the building and snap up just like that. I think I'll probably want to put in a very small parking lot just so that we have some place for the people to park. So I'm just gonna add something right there. And then of course over here, I'm just gonna add a small office building, and hopefully that'll help fill up the space just a little bit. I'm really loving the topography of this hill. You can see that you can literally just look out over the city. It's really cool. It's kind of giving like San Francisco vibes almost. I think that's really fun. But yeah, I'm just going to add in some trees and make this look pretty well kept for the hospital, so that people will actually want to come here and feel better. So let us go ahead and add these in, get some greenery up in here. So the next thing that I want to do as well is place in some education. Obviously, we are kind of running low on elementary school now, and we don't have one directly servicing this city anyways. So I want to go ahead and place in the New Netherlands Elementary School. I think one of these parcels could be really good. I'm thinking something maybe right there or over here. I think on Elm Lane would be great. And then I think I'm just gonna smooth out the terrain just a little bit. It's looking a little rough right now. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. The one thing that sucks about building on hills is that the terrain quality is not usually the best. So we're just gonna have to deal with it for now. I don't really want to change the terrain to kind of like accommodate it. I'm gonna add some flat areas in over here, but I'm just gonna, you know, smoothing it out a little bit so it doesn't look too bad. There we go. I think that looks a little bit better. So now we're gonna add some paths in as well. So I want to definitely hook it up and create this crossing right there, and then we're gonna come down here and we're gonna hook it up to this road as well. And then I know the slope is too steep. I want to create a little bit of like a courtyard area for the kids and see if we can get something in here. Something like that. Something pretty simple. And then I also now want to try and put in a park if we are able to, because we have the opportunity to do that now. So I'm going to put in this small playground, and I think that'll be perfect. And then of course I want to put in a little bit of parking as well, so that the teachers have some place to park, or the parents if they're dropping their kids off or anything like that. And then we are just going to go ahead and come in with our trees, and we are going to put some trees in. I think we are really liking what we've got going on so far with this school. I know the terrain is very, very bad looking, but we're just gonna try and cover it up as best as we can. Okay, now that we've got the elementary school done, I do want to hop on over to the other city and place the other fire and police departments as well. For the police, I'm just going to be using the basic small police station, and I'm going to put it right here on this intersection so that it has ample ability to, you know, go wherever they need to. And then for the fire station, I don't know, there's some really good ones, but I'm thinking this. Ooh, I really like this simple firehouse. I think it looks pretty cool. I am going to be adding that. Let's kind of put it right over here off of the highway. So then that way it can also get onto the highway if they really need to. And then of course we're gonna do some detailing just make it look pretty nice. That does remind me, I did actually want to put in a little bit of a green belt in between the highway and these neighboring homes. Just like we did on the other side with the industry area, I want to create some sort of sound barrier and like sight barrier as well, so that people aren't just like being able to look directly into other people's houses as they're getting onto the highway. So then that way the people who are living there can feel a little bit more like safe, but also have their privacy be a little bit better, and that they won't have to worry so much about, you know, the highway traffic and everything like that. There we go. Now we've got this great green belt, this little forest protecting all these residences from the harsh sounds of the highway. And we also, of course, got our new services in this old city. So now we're going to move back into the new city and continue zoning in some more residential houses. I'm just going to go ahead and go in with the row housing again and zone in as much as we can with what we have left. Okay, so I went ahead and placed in some of the low density housing, and I used the finder tool to pop the growables, and I also included some more alleyways so that the cars could, you know, maybe park behind the house if they needed to. And you know, we've got this really cool look. I really like it. It's like row housing basically, but it doesn't look as kind of messy in a sense. It's a little bit more organized, which I really like and could be really cool. So I'm going to finish out this little parcel right here, and then we're going to go ahead and zone in some more of these parcels, and then we'll get right back to it. Okay, this city is really starting to come together. I'm really liking where this is heading. I really like the difference between like this like actual like row home district that looks a lot different than the downtown as well. I think it looks really cool. And then I did go ahead and put in some more office zone in this parcel, and then some more commercial in this one as well. We're going to finish zoning out the rest of this city, and then we're gonna see what happens after that. Okay, I am really liking where this is starting to go so far. Sorry, I kind of just like started doing a bunch of random stuff. But now what I really want to do is I want to start, and I think this might be the last thing I do as well. I really want to start transforming this waterfront into a waterfront park. So we're going to be adding in a bunch of paths, a bunch of trees, a bunch of nature, all of that good stuff, and we're going to make it look really nice. So I'm very excited to get started. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to do is I want to actually include some of these like smaller tiny parks as like points of, you know, like where people might want to go and like places to do, things to see, and you know, kind of scatter them around. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to get our path system set up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. There we go. Now that we've got the path system set up, I want to start including some nature and really start making this look nice. Okay, I really think we did a good amount of work to this waterfront. It looks so fun. I love it so much. It looks amazing. I think I might change the surface, the grass surface at least. in the future. I kind of like how it is right now, but if I ever feel like changing it, I think I might. But yeah, I put in the sand texture to give more of like a beach vibe that goes all the way over here, and then we did some just simple vegetation and some bushes and everything like that. So we're really starting to wrap up the end of this episode. I am so glad you guys, stuck around and kept watching. I really thank you guys for all your support and everything. It really means a lot to me. I'm just going to be putting some final touches on this new European town that we've got going on. And yeah, we're probably going to do a little bit more zoning, and then yeah, we'll be at the end of this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be right back. Wow, I really like where this city is headed. Look at this. We have gotten so much done today. We've got this really cool low rent housing area complex over here. And then of course we've got the downtown area. It just looks beautiful along with the waterfront. It's amazing. I can't wait to keep going and transfer this park into this park as well. It's gonna look beautiful. And then of course we're gonna keep expanding our residential areas, and we're gonna keep going up until this collector road as well. But right now it's looking pretty good. I am really digging it. Lots of work to be done today. I think it looks amazing. Thank you guys so much for tagging along and watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode and the new Netherlands pack. It has really proven the hype. I am so glad that we finally got this pack in the game. It is amazing. I can't wait to see what other people create with this as well. But this is my version, and we've finally got our second city in Grand Haven County. And of course, let me know what you guys want it to be called in the comments below, and I will choose a comment for the next video, and then we'll get to naming. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Please hit that like button and the subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot. And also hit that notification icon if you want to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I will see you in the next one.